Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and it'll improve your skill-based matchmaking. Let's get into today's video. What I got for you guys is some Tunisia gameplay on Enlisted. The topic, or I guess what I'm here to talk to you guys about, is some more details that are coming out for the big update that is soon to come in the Enlisted game in general. More particularly, what they have for us is a new game mode. They got some new maps, and they are doing some revamping to the tank sites to make them more authentic to whichever country you are playing for. So let's go ahead and get into the news. So right off the bat, the new game mode that they are touting in this next big update is something that they say will be favorable to people who love to attack, but also will put some emphasis on people who actually like to defend and think of strategy, and probably put some more use to their engineers. The game mode is called Confrontation. The mode is quite similar to a tug of war, while the invasion modes will see one team attacking and one defend. In this new Confrontation setup, both teams will obviously be attacking at the same time, but of course that means you will be defending at the same time as well. All that being said, make sure you don't send your entire team to attack at the same time unless you risk being outflanked by the enemy and probably losing your points back to back. When the game mode begins, obviously both teams will have controlled points to begin with, and there will be one point in the middle that is contested and you guys have to fight over. Whichever team captures that point first will get reinforcements to their team, and the other team that lost that point, well, I guess not even lost the point, but the team that didn't catch it will have to fall back to whatever previous point they came from. The only way you can win is by capturing all the points, or alternatively, from a defensive mindset, you can bleed the other team of all their reinforcements and win that way. I guess it just kind of depends on what mindset you go with, which kind of brings me into my initial thoughts before even playing this game mode. It obviously reminds me of Frontline from Battlefield, and it reminds me of War from Call of Duty if you guys have played any of those. The only difference is, instead of getting like momentum or like faster cap rates for, you know, capturing a point before, you just get reinforcements so you can continue to attack further. Which, I mean, that's cool, but like, suppose you're playing with a bunch of randoms and you guys can't get on the same page. I'm wondering how that's going to work out, and it's coming off to me like this is going to be a game mode that, you know, kind of requires you to play with a party, unless people are just going to be running around at random. Some people will be attacking, some people will be defending, and that could either be a good thing or a bad thing, just depending on how it goes. I feel like most people, generally speaking, are in an attacking mindset when it comes to playing Enlisted, and you would be hard pressed to find somebody who's just going to sit back on the point and wait for other people to come, because that would probably bring up, you know, the idea of boring gameplay. Alternatively, I feel like this is another game mode that kind of puts some more emphasis on the engineer, which is always a good thing in Enlisted, in my personal opinion, because the more people you get using engineers, the better. It's just, once you get an engineer that is done building all his fortifications or his rally points, what happens at that point? Do you just expect that player to sit on the point and defend by himself, or do you expect him to try and run up and catch up with the rest of the team? Or suppose you're on a team that nobody is pushing at all and then you want to push by yourself. Wouldn't that just make it like super discombobulated and unorganized overall? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm wondering how it's going to play out when you play with randoms. Obviously, when you play with a party, it wouldn't be an issue because you guys will have good communication and, you know, plan and strategize and stuff like that. But since they don't have game chat still, for some odd reason, in Enlisted, I'm wondering how that's going to work out. I want to know how you guys feel about that in the comment section. Do let me know. Aside from the new game mode, what we will also be getting our hands on in the next big update is some new maps, and that is awesome in my personal opinion, because one thing that a game can never have enough of is new maps. Of course, as long as you're not like, you know, getting like super redundant or doing the same thing over and over again, but that's neither here nor there. For the Invasion of Normandy campaign, the first map we are getting is called La Perle Village, or the only map we are getting, I should say. This is a invasion map that brings the battle to the wheat and cornfields of a large farm, complete with barns and windmills. These areas have plenty of room for armored vehicles to maneuver, so if you're a tank guy, that's awesome for you. And they also say that if moving, living, breathing buildings is not enough for you, I guess they're referring to the windmills, you can dive into the cornfields, and they say the corn stalks there reach the height of an average person. So that will probably be really good for running through or sneaking around if you're that kind of player, or maybe an assault guy trying to close the distance. I can say for sure that I will definitely be putting my rally points in the cornfield, because I'm pretty sure nobody will be able to tell exactly where it is unless they're trying to keep a keen eye. And they also say that is good for flamethrower squads if people are actually in the wheat field and running around hiding in there a lot. So hey, another reason to use the flamethrower is always good for me. The windmill looks like it'll be great for snipers, and I can say overall I am enjoying the aesthetic of this map. I always like yellow maps, or maps that feature a lot of yellow. It's a very pretty color. It reminds me of Aras from Battlefield 5. The next map being featured in this upcoming update is going to be in the Berlin campaign, and unfortunately it is not anything that is particularly new or something that we haven't seen before from this campaign. The reason being is because it's being cut out specifically from the train mission, or I guess the train assault mission. I don't even know what you call that thing. The mission where you have to be on the train to move it along. They're cutting the same thing from that map, and basically the difference is that we're going to be playing invasion instead of all the fighting being around the train. So I guess you could say we'll be moving through the buildings, and the fighting will be ending around the bridge that is also on the railway. And the only thing they're saying in particular is that you should use long-range weapons around that area. So clap if you're a sniper, or if you like using your bolt action rifles in the Berlin campaign, which I imagine you don't. Probably just going to be semi-autos and semi-auto snipers, and you know, maybe I guess the Russians going to be using the Mosin a lot, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. It's nothing too exciting. What they also have coming in this update is some changes to the tanks, which for anybody who is big on vehicles, I'm sure this will be right up your alley, which I wouldn't necessarily call it gameplay impactful unless you're talking about, you know, the guy who's in the gunner seat, but it is a quality of life change and good for the authenticity of the game. Let's get into it. In the last bit of news for this video, we have some quality of life updates coming to the vehicles. Tanks in particular, they are getting revamped when it comes to the sights of the gunner seat, and the way they are doing this is by making it more authentic. Not that they haven't touched the tank sights before, they have done this a long time ago. I made a video about it, but now when you are in a specific tank for a specific army, whether that be American, German, or Russian, the gunner sights are going to look authentic to that actual tank and obviously that actual army, which is good for me because one, it gives it a little bit more personality, and of course this game is based on authenticity, so the more they hone in on that, the better. As far as the planes are concerned, they are just changing how they look in the actual menu when you are, you know, equipping them or looking at them. Sometimes if your plane came with rockets or bombs, they would not actually show the armament under the wing, but now, you know, it's actually there so you can see it when you're looking at it. Very minutia, small quality of life change, but yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the information, the gameplay, or the commentary, feel free to hit that like button, shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates, improve your skill-based matchmaking. I appreciate you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Black guy out.